Hello everybody and welcome into the prep zone here at DMVSTREAM.COM. I'm BJ Koubaroulis, joined for this special episode, special segment with my guys from the local basketball hoop scene. We've got Brian Doyle of Centreville High School, longtime area basketball coach. Speaking of longtime area basketball coaches, Kevin Weeren as well, now of Riverside High School. We've got a lot to talk about, guys, about the upcoming DMVSTREAM.COM Nova Challenge. This is an event that you guys have been doing for many years now, and we're happy to be a part of it. Before we jump into the meat of the content, we want to give the viewers at home a quick look at what is the DMVSTREAM.COM Nova Challenge. It's the DMVSTREAM.COM Nova Challenge, the third annual installment of Northern Virginia's premier All-Star Basketball Showcase event is expanding. This year's April 10th event will welcome the top seniors from Fairfax, Loudoun, Arlington, Prince William, and the city of Alexandria for an action-packed day. In addition to the two All-Star games, the area's best public school basketball players will compete in a dunk contest and a three-point contest. Underclassmen will also have access to a developmental clinic hosted by our friends at Evolution Basketball. Now, not only has this year's event grown from one game to two, but by becoming the title sponsor of this event, DMVSTREAM.COM will be providing you, the viewers and fans, the exceptional, state-of-the-art coverage you've come to expect from us. As the Mid-Atlantic's #1 source for live sports broadcasting, well, DMVSTREAM.COM, we're going to broadcast this year's event live to computers, tablets, mobile devices, and we'll also make the replays available on demand on the internet, as well as our relationships with local cable television access channels. DMVSTREAM.COM produces live broadcasts for professional, semi-pro, and amateur sporting events, as well as colleges, universities, high schools, AAU, and youth tournament organizations throughout the Mid-Atlantic. With a client list that includes ESPN, The Washington Post, Monumental Sports Network, CBSSports.com, USAFootball.com, USLacrosse.org, NCAA.com, the National Federation of High School Sports, Georgetown University, among others, Synthesis Multimedia Productions and DMVSTREAM.COM has emerged as the Mid-Atlantic's top provider of multimedia. Now, the DMVSTREAM.COM Nova Challenge, featuring Nova's premier basketball players on April 10th. You can find out more about that at DMVSTREAM.COM and NovaChallenge.com. We'll see you there. All right, welcome back into this special episode, special edition here, all about the Nova Challenge from DMVSTREAM.COM headquarters here. I am joined by my guys, my local basketball guys, Brian Doyle of Centreville High School and Kevin Weeren of Riverside High School. You guys have done such an amazing job with this event over the years. We want to learn more about it. How did we get to this point? What is the Nova Challenge? What does it take to put on an event like this? Kevin, let's start with you. Who was the brainchild of this thing, and how did this come about?
Brainchild, I think that'd have to be me.
Okay. Nice.
Actually, it was an idea that is not a new one. There's been All-Star games around for a long time. Right. When Brian and I were coaching Northern Region, there was always an All-Star game within the Northern Region. Right. When I moved out to Loudoun County, we decided to bring it to a broader scale and join together Loudoun along with Fairfax, which is kind of where we are now. It's the third year of the tournament. And it's been great so far. And
it's grown too, because it was originally one game, Loudoun, Fairfax, and now we've added some other areas to this. And it's always a good problem to have when people are saying, "Hey, how do I get involved with your event?" Right, Brian? So how have we grown the event since it first started?
Well, absolutely. The first 2 years we did just one game, Loudoun against Fairfax, and then we had such a good response. It was very successful. You guys have jumped on board. We've got a lot of people that are supporting us, so we thought there was an opportunity to expand a little bit. Obviously, there's great basketball in Arlington, Alexandria, Prince William County. And we heard from some of those people after the game, why isn't my player playing in the game? And the reality was, having one game, we only had so many spots. So I think it was kind of a natural progression in this third year to expand to Prince William, Arlington, Alexandria.
Yeah, and almost 60 local players who you've heard about at home and followed, and of course the rankings and all the press clippings. These are the best of the best guys. You've brought together some really good rosters, which is really exciting for an event like this. Let's talk about the event. What's going to actually take place, Kevin, on game day, April 10th, Marshall High School, a school very well. What's going to happen on game day? What are some of the things people get to watch?
Well, we're going to start off with the first game, which is between Prince William and the Arlington Alexandria team. And then in between that game and the second game, we're going to have a dunk contest and a three-point contest. The second game being Loudoun against Fairfax, the teams that have played for the last couple of years. So it's a real exciting thing for us because, as Brian said, it's gone from being loud in Fairfax to being more of a Northern Virginia thing.
Right.
And people in Prince William are excited. He mentioned that Arlington and Alexandria wanted to be on board. Now they are. So a lot of basketball, a lot of fun. For a really good cause.
Yeah, we'll talk about the cause too. I mean, Brian, this has always been a charity-driven event, and the interesting thing about this event is that the school gets to pick what the charity is, and it seems Marshall's made that selection this year. The Alternative House, we're going to have an opportunity to sit down with the folks from the Alternative House in a moment. Let's just talk about, Brian, why that may be so important to an event like this. Kevin mentioned before,
right?
There's all these All-Star games, right? But this one seems to have a special a niche in terms of giving back.
Sure. Well, I think Kevin and I both in our coaching careers always tried to teach our kids that it's about a lot more than just basketball. We were both involved in Coaches versus Cancer when we were head coaches. And it just seemed a natural thing to bring the community together, the basketball community together, to help a charity in that community. So the first year we hosted it at Centreville High School. We focused on a small charity called Friends of Wounded Warriors that are based right in the Chantilly-Centreville area. And then last year we were out at Rockridge and we supported the Loud and Abused Women's Shelter. And so this year at Marshall, Alternative House is right down the street from Marshall, so it just seems like a natural fit. And we really want to focus on a community where we're playing the game. So it was great. Jerry Lynn, who works at Marshall and is involved with us, was able to communicate with the principal of Marshall High School, and they worked together to identify Alternative House.
Yeah, and they've been great hosts, obviously, for this event. Really excited to have this event April 10th at Marshall High School. Going to be a lot of great basketball events going on, some great food as well. 29 Diner going to be bringing the smoker out and feeding all of the folks as well. So that's really exciting. Evolution Hoops going to be doing their clinic in the morning from 9 to 12. We'll talk a little bit about that as we reveal the top 40 later in this episode. And online, you can find out more about that at DMVSTREAM.COM. All right, guys, real quick, before we wrap up, Kevin, what are the challenges when it comes to putting on an event like this? It's not easy. There's a lot to do. You've got to build rosters. You've got to find locations. Let's talk specifically, because later we're going to reveal the rosters in this episode. How do you come up with a roster for each of these areas?
Well, what we decided to do was keep it real simple and look at who were the first team all-conference players in each area.
Okay.
And we reached out to coaches. And coaches have been great. We really value their support and help. So reaching out to the coaches first, and they in turn reached out to the kids. And we've been real excited with the response. Every year we've done this, we've got 95% of the kids that we've invited coming out.
Great.
And this year is no different. So the challenge is, like in any big event, is getting people there, getting the right support, and Marshall's been great at that. They're providing trainers and security and obviously the facility. But so many people want to be involved because it is for charity and because it's a great event. And we're just about bringing awareness for these kids and showing the area what we have in terms of boys basketball players. So it is a lot of work, but it's a labor of love. It's something that we really enjoy doing.
I thought you guys have done a great job by reaching out to the community. Brian and I got a chance to catch up earlier this year. We're excited about our involvement in this, which is the media, the hype, the social media, and of course, on the day of, people at home will be able to watch the games, all events streaming live, and then also repurposed for television with our relationships at Fairfax Public Access and also Red Apple 21. Coming up in just a second is a behind-the-scenes video look at how we broadcast the WCAC Basketball Championships from American University. This is exactly how we're going to do the Nova Challenge. Guys, before we get into that, I want to say thanks for coming out and joining us here on this special episode, special edition of the Prep Zone. If you want more about the DMVSTREAM.COM Nova Challenge, visit us at DMVSTREAM.COM and also on the Nova Challenge website. And here is how we are going to broadcast the games. We'll see you next time.
Two longtime rivals collide tonight here at American University as the top-seeded St. John's Cadets face the second-seeded DeMatha Stags in the WCAC Championship. Hello, basketball fans. I'm Jeremy Huber, joined by the big man, Junior Burrow, the former UVA star. And Junior, you gotta love it. Tonight we've got one heck of a matchup. You look down the list, not a lot separates these teams. Cowan. They'll end up try to give the foul. Referees don't call it. And fittingly, Cowan's going to dribble it out. And you see him come on the court as St. John's is your 2016 WCAC champions. And they get the win as Anthony Cowan goes off by himself. He deserves it, gets the game ball. He wanted nothing to do with that scrum. He just wants to be out there holding that ball.
Hey, easy out there. Goodness gracious.